Yo, what's up guys, it's Nick from Big Ends Gaming. Welcome back to another MLB The Show 19 tier list. I made one on the YouTubers, one that T-Fair made, and I decided to make my own because I kind of felt a little inspired. So I made one on all the Signature Series cards that are in the game as of today's update, and I'm recording this on Friday, but this will be posted on Saturday. So these are all the Signature Series players as of June 28th. So yeah. Let's not waste any time because we have almost 60 Signature Series cards to put in tier lists, or to put in tiers. So yeah, first we have Willie Mccovey. Willie Mccovey I'm gonna drop in the A tier because he's such a good hitter. He can hit both like lefties and righties. The reason why he's not S is because his fielding is not there. We have Alex Gordon, and I'm gonna drop Alex Gordon in the C tier just because he's weaker than all of these other guys. Or not all, but he's one of the weaker ones. A really good fielder. His hitting stats are good, but they're just not at the same level as the other guys. Bert Blyleven I'm gonna put in the A tier because he's a very good pitcher. From what I've heard, his pitch selection is pretty good. He would be S if I think it's his velocity that isn't that high. Here, let me check. I actually have the game open right now. Bert Blyleven. Yeah, it's his velocity that he's lacking. It's 77. His fastball is 95, but I just don't think he's S tier. Next we have Bruce Souter, who I'm gonna put in C tier, and that's because of his pitch selection. Now Bruce Souter, he has a four-seam, a splitter, and a changeup, I think. Yeah, he has a splitter, a four-seam, and a slider actually, not a changeup. Now that slider is actually pretty good, but he has 66 velocity, which is carrying him down, and he's a righty, which are a lot more common, righty relievers. So you could get a just as good player for probably cheaper. He's going for like 49K. Next is Michael Young. He's gonna go into B. Is he B tier? I'm gonna put Michael Young in the A tier, just because he is all around just such a good player. He has contact. His contact is insane. He has power, which is good enough in this game at 76 for both. He has vision, he has the fielding, he can play first, second, and third. The only reason he's not S tier is because his power, if his power was higher, he would be S tier. And maybe he's fielding a little, because his fielding is 83, but he still has flexibility. Next we're gonna go to Brian Mccann, who I'm gonna put in the B tier. And the reason why I'm putting him in the B tier is because other catchers are better. Even though his hitting stats are really, really good, he can only play catcher. He has worse fielding than other catchers, and it's only 81. And there isn't a stat in his hitting that's like, oh my god, I need this card. His highest hitting stat is vision, which is 98. Next is 94 power versus righties. He is a very good card, but he's just nothing like special. Next is Yadi. Yadi I'm going to put in the A tier. Now Yadi, the thing about Yadi Armelina is he's insane at defense. 95 fielding, 94 arm strength, 99 accuracy, 82 reaction, 96 blocking. And he's a really good hitter, but his power is just not S tier. He's pretty much the Michael Young of catchers for the tier list. Next is Aubrey Huff, and Aubrey Huff I'm not gonna put in D tier, even though he's the second lowest overall. I'm gonna put him in C tier because I've used this Aubrey Huff in moments, and this Aubrey Huff is really good. Like, it's actually surprising how well this card plays. He's a third baseman who can play first and right. His fielding isn't that good. If his fielding was better, he'd be B tier. His hitting is really good. His vision is good. His positional flexibility is good. But he's just nothing special. That's why he's C tier. If his power was lower and a few more things, like he didn't have those secondary positions, he'd probably be D tier. Next is Justin Upton. And Justin Upton, I actually haven't really seen this card too much. Justin Upton, is he a good fielder? Justin Upton, he is an fielder, so I'll put him in B tier. Yes, his hitting is insane, 94, 94, 92, 104. But his fielding isn't really too insane. He can only play right and left. His speed is actually kind of good. He can steal some bags, but I would still rather have other guys who are in the A tier than this Justin Upton. Next is Cal Ripken Jr. Now, Cal Ripken Jr. is going to be our first S tier. He is just incredible. He is the contact, he has the power, he has 122 vision, 92 fielding, 96 arm strength. He's just good at everything. He can play short and third. The one bad thing about him is that he doesn't have speed, but you shouldn't really care because of how good of a card this is. Next is going to be Whitey Ford. Now, Whitey Ford, I'm considering putting him in the D tier. So Whitey Ford, he's 10K because so many people got him. His pitch repertoire is really what's going to put him in the C tier instead of D tier. 118 stamina, 94.79 per 9, 63 velocity is pretty bad. His pitch repertoire is keeping him out of the D tier. That's all I really have to say. Four-seam, slider, curveball, sinker, changeup. This card is nowhere near the other cards on this list, and I forgot to mention that all these Signature Series cards, they are all really good, but this is based off just the Signature Series pool. Next, Dennis Eckersley, he's going to go into the A tier. Now, the reason Eckersley is not going to be in the S tier is because of his velocity. Now, his velocity is 76. His four-seam is 95. He's a slider, sinker, four-seam curveball. If he had a changeup, he would be S tier. He has really good stats, but I just feel like you could get more. If he had a changeup and his velocity was like in the 80s, he'd definitely be an S tier. Next is Monte Irvin, and Monte Irvin, here, let me see his stats. Monte Irvin, he's an okay fielder. I'm gonna drop Monte Irvin in the B tier. He's kind of in the same level as that Justin Upton. 109, 100 contact, 93, 75 power, 125 vision, 74 fielding is really holding him back. He can play first and right as well as left, but that 74 fielding is holding him back from the A tier. Wade Boggs next. Now Wade Boggs, he's just really good. Wade Boggs is A tier. The only reason he's not S tier is because of his power. That's literally all I have to say. Next, Larry Doby. He is also going to be going into the A tier. Larry Doby is an all-around beast, hitting-wise. His fielding is 80. It's gold. If it was diamond, he'd be an S tier. That's really all I have to say. Next, we have Enos Slaughter. And Enos Slaughter, he's going to go into the B tier for me. Enos Slaughter, he has the contact in the 110s. His power's in the 70s. Vision is 125. Discipline 113. Clutch 118. Fielding is 68. That's why he's not B tier. He plays right and left, but no center. He's a B tier card out of all the signatures. Next, we have CC Sabathia. Now, CC Sabathia is definitely A tier. The reason why he's an A tier and other cards like Whitey Ford aren't is because not only does he have velocity, he just overall has it all. If just everything was up a little more, he'd be S tier. He has the pitch repertoire, he has the per 9, stamina, velocity, break, control. He has everything. Andrew Mcutchen. Andrew Mccutchen is going to be, I'm considering putting him in S tier, but I feel like I need a little bit more. He's gonna be top of A tier. He hits for contact, he hits for power, he has vision, he has discipline. His fielding is 84. He can steal bags. He is so close to being S tier. If his fielding was diamond, he would definitely be S tier. Next, we have Rickey Henderson. Now, Rickey Henderson, I mean, it's pretty obvious. He's going to go into the S tier. He's just all around so good. Contact, he has. Power, he has. Vision, fielding. He's the best base stealer in the entire game. He's S tier. Next, Roberto Alomar. Now, I think you guys know where I'm going with here. He's another S tier. Roberto Alomar, contact, His power is a little lower, but he still does hit a lot of extra base hits and home runs. Fielding is there, speed is there. Overall, such a sick card, and he's a switch hitter. Next we have Jim Palmer. Now Jim Palmer, I think I'm gonna put him in the A tier. Yeah, I'm gonna put Jim Palmer in the A tier. If his velocity was higher, he'd be S tier. 95 or 96, 85 per nines, 123 stamina. That's pretty sick. Really good pitch repertoire. He's gonna be an A tier. Next we have Matt Williams. Now this one is such a hard choice for me. Matt Williams, he's S tier hitting. He is S tier fielding. But I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna put Matt Williams in the S tier just because his flexibility in the field is just great. Felix Hernandez. Here's my story about Felix Hernandez. This guy is so under the radar, it's ridiculous. Felix Hernandez, S tier, no doubt about it. People are gonna disagree with this, but overall he's so good, his pitch repertoire is there. People don't understand how good this card is because he's so expensive, so not that many people have him because he's a BR flawless reward, which is really hard to get. Next we have Travis Hafner. Travis Hafner, I'm gonna put in the B tier. And it's only because his fielding is awful. He can only play first, his hitting is really good, but his fielding is just atrocious. Corey Kluber, I'm gonna put in either S or A. I think that Corey Kluber, if he had a slider, he would be S tier. So I'm gonna put Corey Kluber in A. I have a lot more to do, and it's already been like 12 minutes, so I'm gonna try to hurry this up. Justin Verlander, here's the thing. When you look at him, he's an S tier. When you play with him, he's a D tier. I'm sorry I have to do this. I don't like that card. Yeah. Zack Greinke. Zack Greinke is either an S or an A. Zack Greinke, he's gonna be an S tier for me, to be honest. His overall card is just really good. He has all the pitches that you need. Baumgardner, another S tier. The one thing that people might change him to A tier is because of his velocity, but he's just so good. Lefty Grove, best pitcher in the game, no doubt S tier. Billy Wagner, best reliever in the game, no doubt S tier. Adam Jones, I'm gonna put in A tier. He has really good everything, but his fielding is really good. He's just not anything super special, which would put him in S tier. Adam Wainwright is an A tier, another really good starter who can do pretty much everything, but just nothing super well. Eric Gagne is S tier. I don't know why the tier maker logo is there. But yeah, Eric Gagne is S tier, no doubt about it. He's so good. Manny Minoso, I'm gonna put in A tier, even though he's a 99. His power is just why he's not an S tier, and there are cards that are better than him. Keith Hernandez, I'm gonna put in B tier. His contact's there, his power is low. His fielding is there. I feel like he fits well in B tier. Russell Martin, I'm also going, I'm gonna put Russell Martin in C tier just because his hitting is just not as good as the other cards. I can't put him in the same category as these B tier cards, hitting wise. Kenley Jansen, S tier, I don't even need to talk about it. Rick Ankiel, I'm gonna put in C tier. Pitching wise, he is a D tier out of the signatures, but his hitting drags him up to a C tier. Curtis Granderson, he's going to B tier. He hits well, speed, fielding. Joey Votto, the GOAT, S tier, top of S tier. And on a real note, he actually is an S tier card because he actually does have fielding and he's a really good hitter. Like, he's one of the best first baseman hitters in the game. Even though Joey Votto's the greatest player in the history of MLB The Show, for me, I'm actually being serious. He's really an S tier card. George Brett, I don't know what I'm doing with my mouse, but George Brett, I'm gonna put in A tier just because his power could be higher. I know it's still in the 80s, but I'd like him in A tier. Ryan Sandberg, another A tier, kind of the same thing. I'm putting Ryan Sandberg in S tier. He has speed, he has fielding, he has power, he has contact, he has everything. Gary Carter is S tier. He's just good at everything. Omar Vizquel, I'm going to put in B tier. And that's just because he's just underwhelming. I mean, he has contact, but he has 50s in the power. I mean, he's a really good fielder and he's really fast. Actually, I'm gonna move him up to A now that I actually looked at his card. Dustin Pedroia, he's a B tier for me. He is really in the same category as all these other guys. Adam Dunn, I do not understand why this guy is so good against me. Literally, his batting average against me is probably like 700. But Adam Dunn, he isn't really that good in the field. I'm gonna put him in B tier, even though he kills me. Bill Mazeroski, I'm gonna put him in, it's either C or D. Bill Mazeroski, you know, I'm gonna put, but he's really good fielding. You know, I need players to put in D tier. I'm gonna put him in D tier. Rod Carew, A tier. Powers holding him off from S tier. Kershaw, S tier, second best starter in the game behind Lefty Grove. Hornsby, S tier. Duke Snider, I'm gonna put in A tier. Just because his fielding is a little lower and he isn't as good against lefties as the S tier guys are good against both. They're good against both. Frank Thomas, the only reason I'm putting in him in S tier with that fielding is because I've played a bunch of games with him and it just doesn't happen. He just doesn't really make that many errors. I don't know why, but his fielding just doesn't show in the game. If his fielding was actually like a thing and it was actually like it actually took place, he'd be A tier. Tony Gwynn, S tier. I don't even need to say. Ignore the power because he hits a lot of home runs. All around so good. Brooks Robinson, I hate doing this because I love this card, but he's gonna go into A tier just because his hitting isn't as good as the S tier hitters. Joe Morgan, another A tier guy, pretty much the same as Brooks Robinson. Nolan Ryan, I'm gonna put Nolan Ryan into B tier, and that's only because his control is just so lackluster, and it's just insane how like low it is and how much that affects him. We got 3 more cards. Hoffman is going to go into B tier. His I think it was velocity that's low, but he's a pretty good, but he's not A or S. Willie Mays is S tier, and Pudge is S tier. So yeah, that is going to be it for this MLB The Show 19 Signature Series player tier list. I am the creator of this. I will hopefully remember to put the link in the description. If you want to make a video on it, go ahead. If you want to do it on Twitter, go ahead. You want to shout me out, do whatever, go ahead. So yeah, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I've been your host, Nick from Big Ants Gaming, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.